Be welcome to one more video, and today I will talk about a very sensitive topic that explain why Brazil is so poor. Okay, it's a question that many foreigners make themselves. Oh my God, Brazil is so rich, has so many natural resources, very creative people, and why do I see so much poverty in every corner? I will talk about the productivity. That is a very sensitive problem here in Brazil. The productivity is very low, and I will point here in this video some reasons the productivity is so low, and that is the question here in Brazil, productivity. Okay, because what is productivity? Is do more with less work. Okay, that is a very interesting thing of observing in rich countries. We see in rich countries that they produce a lot of goods, of products. They have this machinery, this industry very well developed, and they just simple law of offer and demand. Okay, if we have a huge offer, we have lower prices. So to have lower price, a country has to produce a lot, or at least produce other things a lot and exchange with other countries that produce a lot another thing. So they can have a huge influx of products, and that's good too. Okay, because in the capitalism, at the end of the day, each part benefit themselves. We don't observing another country extracting richness from. Okay, but it's the logical thing, is the way I see the things, how they work. Okay, it's very complex, but it's not the point of the video. Okay, in the end of the day, productivity is doing more with less effort, and Brazil is a very primitive economy. Okay, in some sectors, Brazil is very well developed. For example, in the agriculture, okay, Brazil is one of the biggest producers in the agriculture. Okay, but it's not the reality that we see a lot in the cities, in other sectors. The industry in Brazil is not well developed, it's not competitive with other rich countries. And why this happened? Because in Brazil we doesn't have this opportunity to make the capitalism evolve. Okay, because the capitalism, with the accumulation of capital, with the pass of time, when the country has the right incentives, this capitalism begins with very primitive commerce, like selling food in the streets, like things like this, selling clothes in the street and things like this, very primitive, and goes scaling with machines that produce clothes. And now these factories become very huge, and these factories began even huge with robots producing clothes now. And now we have artificial intelligence producing robots that produce clothes. So the capitalism will grow in the because always the capitalism wants to produce more and produce more, and when it grows in a country, it will be acting like this, accumulating and increasing the productivity, because we have more machines and we have good process, and we have more production of goods, and the price go down. It's always like this. So if we have a health capitalism in Brazil, that was the natural path, not only for clothes but for everything you can imagine. But Brazilian people has natural talents, so we would have more strong sectors. Okay, but it's not what we see. If we go in the streets and observe a little bit Yes, we have factories in big cities, okay, because Brazil is very huge, we have a lot of people, we see, but we doesn't see that very well developed capitalism like people stay producing things very old way, very primitive way many times. Here in my region, Northeast Brazil, we see that the countryside is very primitive yet. Okay, the capitalism in Brazil have never this opportunity to increase the productivity because we have a lot of factors that I mentioned in this channel a lot. Okay, a lot of factors that prevents the capitalism to grow. Is this kind of mentality we have here that the government is always preventing the capitalism to evolve. And people here has this culture of anti-capitalism that they don't like business owner capitalism. Capitalism is not a good, well seen. People don't see with good eyes the capitalism here. They don't understand, even understand. It's just a feeling. They are jealous of people who have a lot, okay? They are just jealous because they have this feeling here. It's cultural. And this is a very bad feeling. I see clear the difference when I go in a gringo, like foreign YouTube channel. I don't see kind of comments I see in the videos in Brazil. This some kind of comments of, oh, he is dishonest. He is making money because he is dishonest. Oh, kind of commentaries. I don't know how to explain exactly, but the culture here contributes to the not developed capitalism in Brazil. The culture is very anti-capitalist here. Okay, there are labor laws that for me is a key point for the productivity because it doesn't have good laws in the state interferes a lot in sensitive points. And one of the main points that is very critical for the capitalism is the job. Okay, the job is the most important thing. So different from the USA, then you can make deals freely with your employees. Here in Brazil, your contract is not valid because who do the contract? The state. So the state interferes a lot in the most important thing in the capitalism, that is the job. Okay, so we have this kind of slow economy, freezing economy, because of not only this, but a lot of complex bureaucracy, taxes, and the government really makes their best for each year, making the economy a lot slower and a lot slower, prejudicing the business owners. So this impacts directly the productivity, makes the productivity be very low, the economy goes very slow, and we cannot accumulate this capital to this machinery to produce a lot. So productivity in Brazil is very below the average when we compare to other countries because of this. In rich countries, you have this more flowing mechanism, these more flexible laws, okay? And I believe that's the reason, okay? I lived here over the last 35 years. I know very well how things work here. And that's one of the main reasons of the poverty here in Brazil, the productivity to be very slow. We could be much more productivity, prices a lot more good for everybody, but we have these things that we have to solve that I don't know when they will be solved, but I think it will not be solved in the next decade, okay? I explain a lot in this channel the factors I believe this is, but that's it. That's how things works here. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you understand a little bit better now how things work here. Okay, thank you. And if you have some question, put in the comment. Let's share experience, ideas, okay, whatever. See you.